You want to get more exposure for your music on Spotify, but you don't have much money to spend on promotion. So what do? Well, one of the most cost-effective ways to get more streams on Spotify is by getting added to playlists that have lots of followers. So in this video, I'm going to explain how you can do that for free right now. What's up guys, Justin here, and in this video I want to explain how you can get your music added to playlists on Spotify for free. So I'm going to add this caveat though real quick to the word free because you probably heard the phrase nothing in life is free, and I don't know if that's true for everything, but it certainly is when it comes to your music promotion. And now while you might be able to promote your music without spending any money, the trade-off is that it's going to cost you time. And like Tony Stark said,
no amount of money ever bought a second of time.
Time is your most valuable asset. You can always get more money, but you can't buy more time. So you have to decide for yourself, does it make more sense to spend your time or money on promoting your music? Now, if you don't have any money, then you don't really have a choice, right? So in this video, I'm going to explain how you can get added to Spotify playlists for free. I'm actually going to cover 5 different ways to do that. But before I do, you have to promise me something. If you find this video helpful and you're not already subscribed to the channel, you got to hit that subscribe button to say thanks and support the channel. And real quick, for those of you that do have more money than time, if you want a faster, easier way to get more streams, then click the icon in the upper right corner of the screen for a video that might be a little bit more suited for your situation. I'll also link to that video in the description if you want to check that out, if you want to circle back and check it out after this video. Again, it's just a free video that I have on my YouTube channel right here. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started with 5 ways to get added to playlists for free. Now, the first way is going to be getting added to official Spotify playlists that are curated by Spotify staff. Then I'm going to cover 3 ways to get added to listener curated playlists for free. And finally, we'll talk about how you can get added to Spotify's algorithmically generated playlists for free. So the first one is super simple, and you should do this every time you release new music. In order to do this, you need to be sure that you've claimed your artist profile on Spotify by setting up your Spotify for Artists account. It's totally free to do once you have music on Spotify. Just go to artist.spotify.com and follow the instructions there to claim your artist profile if you haven't done that already. Now, anytime you upload music through your distributor to Spotify, that new music will appear in your dashboard prior to the release date. And when you log into your Spotify for Artists dashboard, you'll just go up to the top and click Music, and then click Upcoming to see your upcoming releases. Then tap that little link that says Pitch a Song and fill out the short form on the next page. And what that does is it submits your music to Spotify's editorial staff so they can check it out and decide if it's a good fit for one of their official playlists. Now, something to keep in mind when submitting your music is that it is a good idea to plan ahead. Spotify recommends submitting your music at least a week before the release date. However, in reality, you should really give them a lot more lead time. Ideally, you're submitting your music at least 6 weeks before the release date. 60,000 songs are uploaded to Spotify every single day. So the more time you give Spotify staff to actually get to your music and give it a listen, the better. But that's it. It's super simple and it's totally free. So it's something you should be doing every single time you release new music. So that's what you can do to get on an official Spotify editorial playlist. Now let's talk about how you can get your music added to listener curated playlists. All right, so I'm going to cover 3 different ways to get added to listener curated playlists. Now, remember, like I said in the beginning, you're either going to be trading your time or your money to get on these playlists. When it comes to contacting these playlist curators, you have to realize that most playlist curators that have a lot of followers on their playlist know that they can charge for placement on their playlist. And that's not to say that they always do. There are absolutely playlist curators out there that will add your music to their playlist for free if they really like it and they think it's a good fit. But that's not everybody, and it takes a lot of submissions to find those curators. Most curators you contact will want to charge you for placement. That's just something you need to be aware of. So if you want to find playlist curators that are going to add your music for free, it's going to require that you contact a lot of curators, and it's probably going to take some time to find curators that will add your music without charging you anything. That being said, if you're willing to put in the time and contact a lot of curators, eventually you'll probably find some that will add your music for free. So I'm going to share 3 ways to do this. All right, so the first method is just to go to jammob.com, jammob, jammob.com, and right here on the home page, you'll see this tab that says Musician Resources. If you hover over that and click on Playlist Curators, it'll bring you to this list of playlist curators that my team has put together for you guys. Now, keep in mind that this is still being updated currently, and it will be updated regularly. So if you go here and you happen to you don't see your genre here, or you click and something wacky happens, just come back in a day or 2 and see if it's been updated, because this is currently still being updated. Now, it's pretty simple to do. Just Keep in mind that these are not necessarily vetted. We haven't tested all these. There's a ton of playlist curators here, by the way. We haven't tested them all out. We haven't, confirmed that they will accept free submissions or if they charge for everything or anything like that. You will have to do your own due diligence. You'll have to check out the playlist, make sure it's a good fit for your music, and then you can contact them. But we have done a lot of the legwork here in providing you with the contact information to reach out to these curators. So like, for example, if your genre was bass house, you just click on that genre, you'll see a list of Spotify curators here, and you'll see the name of the playlist, the genres, the playlist curator name, and then their contact email or website, whatever we have for them. And then you'll see a Spotify URL in most cases. Again, like I said, some of these are still being updated. We don't have the Spotify URL for quite all of them necessarily added to the website yet. But what you will see is a lot of times when you click on this, it'll either take you to the actual playlist or in many cases to the playlist curator's profile. And the reason is because these playlists change all the time. So if we don't have the actual URL for that playlist, we'll just link to the playlist curator profile on Spotify. And then another thing too is, the links, even if it does go to a playlist, it might not be the same playlist because they change their playlist names, they update them all the time, so it's really hard to keep up with that. But at the very least, you'll at least be able to find the playlist curator and take a look at some of their other playlists as well, because even though this might be a appealing playlist, or and you'll notice some of these genres, there's like multiple genres for some of them, but if, for example, this is a playlist that you want to get added to, you can click on this link, you can go check out their music over here, or their playlist over here on Spotify. And what you might find is, like, you might not be able to find that playlist that was listed because they've changed it or whatever, but you might find some other playlist by that curator that would be even a better fit for your music. So, if you do, fantastic, just do your due diligence, make sure the playlist is a good fit for your music, and then you can go back over here to Jammob and you can reach out to that playlist curator with this contact email or website or whatever we have for them. Now, one thing I will say is don't just email these people. Be tactful about how you communicate with them. Keep in mind that not only are these real human beings, they are kind of a gatekeeper in a way. They can actually help you with your career a lot more than you can help them, right? They can go on Spotify and add any musician they want. They could add big Grammy Award-winning artists to all their playlists if they want to. It's completely free for them to do. So adding your music to their playlist, if they have a lot of followers, is really doing you service. So keep that in mind. Contact them. Be very tactful about the way you approach them. Don't just DM them or email them and say, hey bro, check out my music or something stupid like that. They'll ignore you, okay? So be tactful about the way you contact these curators. I actually have a video that I posted on a long time ago called How to Contact Spotify Curators to Get Added to Playlists. I recommend that you check that out. I'll link to it in the description, but it touches on how to actually go about communicating with playlist curators properly. So check that video out before you reach out to these guys. Also, another thing that I cover in that video is this site, and this is the next way that I'm going to show you how to find playlist curators on your own. Is through a site called chartmetric.com. It used to be chartmetric.io, but now it's chartmetric.com. So that's just FYI. Go to chartmetric.com and create a free account. Now they do have a paid tier. They have a paid account, but I think it's like $150 a month. It's pretty expensive. And it could be very valuable to you if this is, if you are a playlist curator or if you're doing a lot of these submissions and, really building a business around this, it can be a very valuable tool. However, it can still be very useful for you if you use the free version. And I've gotten a lot of messages. For some reason, people have been commenting on this other video that this site doesn't work anymore, but I don't know what they're talking about because it does. Maybe it's just the layout's different or something, I don't know. But in any case, you can create a free account. So I'm gonna go ahead and log into my account. By the way, this is a completely free account that I'm logging into. I'm gonna go ahead and log into and show you how to use Chartmetric to find curators. Okay, here I am in my free account. As the free account disclaimer here, look, it's telling me upgrade to a premium. Totally free account right here. All right, here's the pricing page if you wanna see how much it costs. So this is what you can do. If you go to these three little dots over here and scroll down to Curators, you'll see that it brings up a list of Spotify curators. And you could also do this with Apple Music or Deezer, other platforms as well, not just Spotify. But the way that you would use this is, first of all, I would recommend excluding Spotify or major label brands. These are going to be like the official Spotify playlists are ones that you're going to have to submit to through method one I mentioned anyway, through your artist dashboard. Major label brands probably aren't going to take your music. So if you click this, it'll exclude those playlists. And by the way, part of the reason why we want to do that is because you're going to be limited to 50. See, free users can only see the first 50 rows, pay a bunch of money, you can see all of them. But you can do a lot here with just the free version, because if you exclude the Spotify and major label brands, and then also if you click on, I would recommend clicking on this one where it only shows people that have social URLs, because that's how you're going to contact most of these curators. So you want to make sure that they have that. And then you just choose your genre here. So we'll say rock, metal, punk, metal, whatever. And then it just brings up a list of playlist curators here that we can reach out to. And the way that you would do that is by clicking on this little icon, right? No, actually, sorry, my bad. That takes you to their Spotify account. If you click on their curator name right here, it'll bring up their Chartmetric profile. And you can see down here underneath data sources, there's a bunch of different links where you can reach them at. And some of them are grayed out, which means for this particular curator, you can't contact them on those platforms. But this one has Facebook, Instagram, and then a website right here, so you can contact them through those means. And again, a lot of these curators are going to charge you. Just be mindful of that. But that is another way to reach out to playlist curators. And if you go through enough, you can probably find some that like your music a lot and will add your music for free. Now, one place where you can for sure get your music added for free would be through SubmitHub. So with SubmitHub, first of all, your account is totally free to create, but then in order to get to contact more curators, it helps to have premium credits, which cost money, or you can get those for free as well, and I'll show you how you do that in just a second. But you can create a free account. If you go to list of curators, for example, over here you'll see, if I scroll down a little bit, you'll see I can, okay, so I can choose bloggers. So this is not just for submitting your music to playlist curators. You can submit your music to music bloggers as well. Spotify curators, SoundCloud, YouTubers, Twitch, even radio stations. I'm not sure how well that one works, but you can do it. You can submit them, so you can submit your music. But if you're just sticking with Spotify playlisters, if you just check that right there after you've logged in and everything, then you can see a list of curators, and you can browse by all kinds of other options here. And in fact, over here, if you go, I'm going to link to this in the video description as well, but if you go back over to the free videos that I have at here on the channel, over here, this is the JamMob homepage. Again, I'll just link to this playlist in the description, but right here, there's one called SubmitHub, get your music on, featured on popular blogs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this is a 4-part series that I did with the founder of SubmitHub, Jason Grishkoff. So he was kind enough to join me on a live session where he did an in-depth walkthrough of how to use the platform to get the best results. So I highly, highly recommend that you check that out, which again, I'll link to in the description. But just a quick overview of how it works, or of how this would work in terms of getting added to playlists. You'll find your genre, sort and find good playlists to submit to. And with a free account, you get a couple credits every few hours or so. Your account will get an update with credits, and then once you use those credits, it'll update again after a few hours. But that can take quite some time. Like I said, it's either time or money, so you could pay to get more premium credits, or you can actually get premium credits for free with this hot or not feature. So if you go to the hot or not feature and use this feature right here, basically how it works is you would just start, checking out music, you listen to it, and you say whether you like it or not. That's it. And you, as you do that, you rate music, whether you like it or not. And you earn free premium credits that way, which you can then use to submit to playlist curators. So another free way to get your music added to playlists. And these playlist curators do not charge you. They do not try to charge you, or at least they're not supposed to, beyond whatever you're paying for the premium credits. So you can literally earn the credits for free, submit to playlist curators, and then if they add your music, and they're not going to get back to you and say that they want money for it, or at least they're not supposed to. So that is one way that you can definitely get your music added to listener curated playlists for free. So there they are, 3 ways to get your music added to listener curated playlists. We have the list on jammob.com. Be sure to go check that out, totally free. Just go to jammob.com, musician resources, playlist curators. We covered Chartmetric and then SubmitHub. All right, so we've covered the first 4 ways to get added to Spotify playlists for free. You can submit your music to Spotify's editorial staff from within your Spotify for Artists dashboard. You go to jammob.com and find a list of playlist curators there that you can reach out to, and that's sorted by genre. And then there's chartmetric.com, which you can access to a limited degree with a free account. And then there's SubmitHub, which does have a free tier, and then you can use the Hot or Not feature to earn premium credits for free. And then last but certainly not least, are Spotify's algorithmic playlists. And technically all of Spotify's algorithmic playlists are free to get on. When Spotify's algorithm determines that your music is a good fit for a certain listener, the algorithm will share your music with that listener. But in order to get noticed by the algorithm, you need people to be listening to your music in the first place. And that, of course, will take some time or money to get that initial exposure that'll help get your music noticed and picked up by the algorithm. But there is one simple free way to start getting noticed by Spotify's algorithm, and that's to start telling your existing fans to follow you on Spotify. So at your next live show or your next live stream, you want to tell your audience to go check out your music on Spotify and follow you. Tell your followers on social media or your email list to go follow you on Spotify. Because what happens when someone follows you on Spotify is that when you release new music, that music will appear on your followers' release radar, which is Spotify's big algorithmic playlist for sharing new releases. And you don't need a ton of listeners to get picked up by that playlist. Your new releases will appear on your followers' release radar, and that can always help your music get a boost and add it to other algorithmic playlists as well. If you want to learn more about Release Radar and Spotify's algorithm, I have some, you guessed it, some additional videos here on the channel, which I will link to in the description. So there are quite a few links in the description of other videos that you might find helpful here on the channel. And speaking of which, be sure that you subscribe now if you found this video helpful. And if you want to learn more ways to get exposure for your music, I have a totally free gift for you. If you just click the little icon in the upper right corner of the screen, you can go grab a free guide that I put together, 61 ways to get more exposure for your music. So be sure to go grab that. And finally, just a quick recap of the 5 ways to get added to Spotify playlists for free. Number 1, submit your new releases to Spotify's editors through your Spotify for Artists dashboard. Number 2, go to jammob.com, click musician resources, and then select playlist curators for a list of playlist curators you can reach out to. Number 3, use chartmetric.com to find additional playlist curators. Number 4, use SubmitHub to find and submit your music to more curators. And then number 5, make sure that you tell your existing fans and listeners to go follow you on Spotify so you can get your new releases to appear on their release radar and potentially other algorithmic playlists as well. So that's going to wrap things up for this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section below. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and tick the little bell icon to be notified as soon as new videos are released here on the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.